Good morning, it's Tuesday, June the 10th, and it's a very special day today because our head painter, Goy, has just come down from Phuket to join the rest of the paint team who have been preparing Esper. And if you come and have a look behind me, you can see that they've been wrapping the boat in cling film. It's still early in the morning, so there's probably a bit of moisture in the air still, but it hasn't rained for 4 days now, so it's good conditions to get that top coat on, and that's what they'll be doing today, spraying the topsides.
As Jamie explained, the painters spent a good couple of days preparing the area around the boat. They created a network of string which acted as a frame for the cling film, which is cut and stuck into place with rubber glue. It's a time-consuming procedure, but it massively reduces the dust particles in the area. The first thing the paint team does is spray the cling film with a spare bit of white paint. The reason for this is very simple. The wet paint attracts dust, and it's better to have the dust on the cling film than on the newly painted topsides. They also spray themselves, or rather their overalls, so that they too act as a magnet for dust.
So I've just taken a step back from the noisy tent over there. Been talking to Goy, the head painter. He just explained that he just needs to put another layer of degreaser around the top sides before he applies the final top coat. So we're looking to get 3 coats on. It's 10:30 now, and he's estimating about 12 o'clock he's going to start applying the top coat. So basically he's just cleaning up now, making sure that there are no little particles left. It's dry, it's a little bit windy, but it's coming from behind me, so as we're looking here, it's blowing onto the tent. This isn't a problem. He explained that the paint adheres better when it's a little bit cooler and obviously drier. When it's too hot, he said, the paint doesn't adhere so well. And he said the conditions we have today are very good for painting, so fingers crossed.
In a further effort to minimise dust in the atmosphere, the painters normally cover the surrounding area in water. Unfortunately, in the lead up to our paint job, the whole Chebalang region suffered a water shortage due to a broken pipe somewhere up the road. The painters had to make do with buckets on the first day. We were lucky with the weather during the monsoon period. For the first time in a while, we'd had almost a week of no rain and dry conditions, and on the day of the top coat application, the conditions couldn't have been better. At around 12 p.m, Goy begins to apply the first layer of Awlcraft moon dust.
As you can hear, painters continuing on the second coat now. You can't really see it through the cling film, I'm afraid. We'll see if we'll have a peek around the other side, but it's a bit windy, so there is a lot of dust, paint dust, being blown about. I've got to say, it's not the colour I was expecting it to be. It's supposed to be a moon dust, and it's looking very pale, but maybe the second coat will do something to give it a bit more depth. The camera is actually getting covered in paint dust, which means the lens probably is as well. I don't know if you can see that coming out there. But I'm happy to say that the second coat is now finally giving it its true colour. First coat looked a bit patchy. This is it, they're finished. 3 coats. We've got to just check this guy's face out. Look at this.
Hiểu a lot lah.
And Goy, look at Goy. Eyes are red. Eyes okay?
Okay.
Happy?
Happy.
Good? Good man.
Tomorrow, what check?
Tomorrow we have a look, yeah? Great. Thank you. He's been hard at it. 3 coats, that's taken him 5 hours.
The next morning we get to the yard early and take a look at Goy's work. We're extremely happy with the results, so next we discuss the waterline with Un, our project manager. We agree on a 20cm waterline, which the paint team then mask off. When he's ready, Goy applies 3 coats of All Grip Midnight Blue, which complements perfectly the Moondust topsides.
As you can see, they've finished the waterline as well. So the colour is called Moondust, and it's here under the covers it looks like an off-white. Now when Liz and I chose it, we thought it was actually going to be a bit darker than it is, but irrespective of that, it's a really good paint job, and they've done a fantastic job on it, so we're very happy with it. They still of course have to do the top decks and the cockpit boxes and so on, so the paint team will be with us for another 2 weeks. But I'm pleased that I managed to see this before I return to the UK.
We were lucky with the weather window too. After a week of perfect painting conditions, the skies drew in, and the very next day after painting the boatyard was battered by torrential tropical storms.
Where are we going, Liz?
We're going round Pong's gaff, and we're going to go and see what he does with those ducks of an afternoon.
Oh yeah, so this is the boatyard, the entrance, and literally just across the other side of the road, excuse the wind, should be Pong and Ton. Let's see if we can find them. Aha! Aha! So this is what they've been working on. They've been sikaflexing the cockpit floor there, and then the 2 lids for the rear deck boxes. As you can probably see, we haven't gone for black sikaflex, we've gone for a grey. And the idea is they cure this over a period of a few days. I'm not entirely sure how long it takes, and then eventually they'll sand this all back, and as they sand it back it will smooth down the surface, and it will also bring back the original teak colour in the floorboards. And there is Mr. Pong. How are you?
Yeah.
Not very good, Pong, it's all sticking over the edge.
Yeah.
Needs to come off. Yeah, that's good.
As the southwest monsoon made its presence known over the boatyard, I left on the Saturday to fly to the UK, where I'll be based for the next month. This leaves Liz in charge not only with the video recording, but also dealing with the little curveballs we get thrown every now and then.
They look good, don't they? Our bedside cabinets, look at those. Right next to our heads, right next to our pillows, our own little private lockers. Noticed a problem? Oh yeah, look, the one on Jamie's side is a little bit low. We just realised, of course, when the mattress goes on there and the duvet and everything else, he's not going to be able to open it, so we're going to have to move up that bottom slightly, which means the carpenters have got to produce a new door and slightly raise the opening.
The final floor went down this week. We've now got a teak floor throughout the entire boat. This is the cabin area. Now, obviously still needs sanding, but pretty much finished now. So very happy with our beautiful, beautiful teak floor.
Another project that I've left Liz to oversee is the installation of the electrics and navigation equipment. It's an area of the refit that I have very clear ideas about, so communicating them to Liz, project manager Un and our electrician Sombat is paramount. Again, we use lots of guides and schematics to ensure we're all in agreement over what goes where.
The electrician has started work, as you can see. Just a small job required. And a few little snacks to help him on his way.
I also have it on good authority that the boys are cracking along with the hull treatment. Here you can see Yodchai preparing the hull, and hopefully next week Liz will have an update on their progress.
And finally, Pong has made a start on the tow rail. On Saturday, he began work cutting a groove along the length of the wood where it will fit onto the deck. We'll see how this task progresses next week.
That's it for week 19. I'm now in the UK celebrating my father's 70th birthday, whilst Liz remains in Thailand overseeing the boat's refit and contending with 9 kittens. Yep, you heard that right. Another neighbourhood cat has decided to use our house as a nursing home, so Liz now has 9 kittens and 3 felines to keep her occupied when she's not in the yard.
Last night at about 7 o'clock I heard little Grey, our neighbourhood grey cat who we've been feeding for the last couple of weeks, making a terrible noise. So I came outside, and just here you can just see a little area in the grass there. She was lying down and she was yowling and calling at me very loudly. So I went over to her and I decided that she was probably about to have the kittens, so I calmed her down and she was okay. She started to purr and I went back. I went back inside. By the time I got back, the yowling had got even worse, so back I came out again, had another look at her. It's dark by now, had the torch with me, and there she was, sitting here with a kitten. So I decided that I couldn't possibly leave her there. So I went round to the back of the house. There we have another little porch which we seldom use, and there's a back door that goes into our bedroom, and I built a little palace for her. And I took one of those blue boxes, took it back, put her in it with her little kitten, and brought her round here. There she is. Good morning, Miss Grey. Good morning. And this morning, I didn't know what I'd see, whether I would see any kittens or not. There's one, isn't that, Miss Grey? Yeah. And in here are the others. 4 healthy little grey kittens. And a very happy little mum, aren't you? I think this little one should go back inside. Yeah, so we just put him back. There you go. You can go back with your brothers and sisters. So, 4 kittens, a nice little kitten mummy palace, food, water, and a very happy little mum.
Uploading and downloading video clips in order to put our weekly updates together is a little more involved now that we're thousands of miles apart, but with the wonders of Tinternet, We hope to continue to bring you our progress from PSS Boatyard in Chebilang, South Thailand.